Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. So a couple of months ago, I was brushing my teeth one morning and I looked in the mirror very closely and I noticed when my eyebrows were relaxed, I had a forehead wrinkle. Oh, and this completely freaked me out. I very quickly put on 2 layers of moisturizer and then 2 layers of sun cream, and I vowed to never skip my skincare routine out of laziness again, because now there were consequences to my laziness. Those consequences being a forehead wrinkle. And my panic didn't stop at dedicating myself to a skincare routine. The forehead wrinkle was still there, and no amount of sun cream, moisturizer, niacinamide, sheet masks can get rid of a forehead wrinkle. So I very quickly looked into getting Botox done. I've actually had Botox done before. I had an eyebrow lift a couple of times a few years ago, and Botox is around £200 to £300 a pop. So at that time, I just vanished my flat. So I was like, you know what? I'll wait a month or two and then I will go and get Botox done. So I let it sit for a while, and during this time, a lot of Julia Fox's TikToks where she was talking about the absolute scam that is anti-aging were coming up on my For You page.
And if I see another product that says anti-aging on the label, I'm suing. I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue because I'm going to age regardless of if I put that $500 serum on my face, and you all know it and we know it, so let's stop lying to ourselves. Getting old is hot.
In Julia Fox we trust, which helped to clear my head a little bit and feel a bit less anxious about the mere thought of aging. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because I've been reading feminist literature and feminist articles for the past few years. I know that women's beauty standards are rooted in ageism, yet despite this, I nearly spent £300 on Botox just because of one forehead wrinkle. I don't know about anyone else, but I spend a lot of time on TikTok. I think if I didn't spend a lot of time on TikTok, I'd probably have nothing to talk about in these videos. And the more time I spend on TikTok, the more sorry, my cat is Boots. Stop. The more time I spend on TikTok, the more I realize how much of a terrible app it is for women. And we're going to investigate this more today. But I didn't come to this conclusion on my own. A few TikToks like this have been coming up on my TikTok and my Twitter feed. Basically just anger, frustration, rage, exhaustion over the current TikTok discourse and obsession with women's appearances. The latest celebrity plastic surgery trend, buccal fat removal. Are you reaching your mid-20s? You should probably implement a 10-step skincare routine so you can prevent aging now. Make sure you also get an anti-wrinkle straw, anti-wrinkle face tape. Make sure you start getting baby Botox too, preventative, and then get actual Botox. Can't afford baby Botox? A great alternative is to train your face muscles to not move. Nose job before and after. Ski slope noses. My BBL journey. Why would you get a BBL? Haven't you heard the Kardashians have gotten theirs reversed? Thin is in, heroin chic is back. Here are 3 exercises to get rid of your hip dips. What type of pretty are you? Are you natural pretty? Are you popular pretty? Are you model pretty? Are you standard pretty? Which type of pretty am I? Oh, you're still doing full glam makeup in 2023? You should really embrace the clean girl aesthetic. Everyone looks better with less makeup on. It's not 2016 anymore. Do you have siren eyes or doe eyes? Well, here's a tutorial for both of them, because your natural eye shape is mediocre and unmemorable. How else are you going to prove to your partner that you're a high value woman? How else are you going to entrance men with your divine feminine energy?
But imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
At the moment, it just seems absolutely relentless. And of course, beauty standards have been a running theme throughout all of my videos because I talk about feminism and patriarchy a lot. Some of my first ever sort of social commentary videos were about beauty standards. I feel like I was only really scratching the surface, like beauty standards bad, like nothing new at all and nothing groundbreaking. And I'm not saying that this video is going to be new or groundbreaking. I'm setting up this video more to sort of start a conversation and more of sort of a light exploration into this topic. And just before we get into this video, I thought I would quickly talk about what is going to be going on with my videos now forward. If you're not interested in, feel free to skip to the next timestamp. But I feel like my recent videos haven't like really been up to scratch. The only thing which has been saving them has been the edit. Shout out editor Kath. And I honestly think I have just been a little bit burnt out and uninspired. Like I needed to take some time off. So going forward, I am going to be making shorter video essays like this one. And whilst making the shorter ones, I'm I'm going to be working on longer, unsponsored video essays, social commentary, so I can take as long as I want making the videos, and also I won't get burnt out because I won't have to hyperfixate on just one thing for weeks at a time, because I'm telling you guys, that will drive you crazy. I think for the longer video essays, I'm probably going to do like deep dives on TV shows, sort of a la Jenny Nicholson, but I do really want to make a long video essay deep dive about Agatha Christie. If that's something which you guys are interested in, please let me know. Talking about the hypervigilance of women's appearances on TikTok, it's actually really important to talk about TikTok psychology, how it affects our brains, and how we can very quickly get stuck in an algorithmic trap. I got all of my information from this article, The Psychology of TikTok by Megan McClintock, so I will leave that link down below if you want to read a bit further into it. There are more than 1 billion users on TikTok, and the TikTok algorithm rewards users who post multiple times a day, every day, with exposure. So there is a seemingly endless supply of content to consume, and the TikTok algorithm is designed to keep you coming back and staying on the app for as long as possible. And this isn't unheard of for social media apps. Most social media apps algorithms want to have this. Most social media apps have this quality, is what I meant. But a leaked internal TikTok document indicated that the TikTok algorithm intentionally shows you videos that are close to what you want to see, but not exact. So users continue to watch TikToks, but also discover other videos they like in the meantime, and sort of broaden their algorithmic horizons. So when you think about this in terms of the type of TikTok women's beauty content I'm talking about, it could start out with you watching a funny BBL TikTok by Dr. Miami, and then you get shown a BBL TikTok here and there, and then you get shown nose job TikToks. And again, it's not like every single TikTok is related to plastic surgery, but they're sort of cropping up here and there, and you're engaging with the content because you find it interesting. It's then nose job TikToks, then filler, then Botox, then anti-aging TikToks, then more BBL TikToks, then TikToks about how BBLs are out and thin is back in, and heroin chic, and then how to get rid of your hip dips, and then what type of pretty you are, divine feminine energy. The cycle goes on and on and on and on. Within hours, the TikTok algorithm can detect your music taste, your political leanings, what discourse you're interested in, your sexual orientation, your mental health, and your sense of humor. Julia McCauley, who is a computer science professor at UC San Diego, says that not only does TikTok have a huge amount of data and really highly engaged users, but also TikTok is one of the few social media sites where most users consume just algorithmically recommended content. Most people consume content from people they follow, the following tab. And then when Instagram tried to put recommended posts into the following tab, there was uproar, okay? People did not like it. Meanwhile, with TikTok, most people scroll through their For You page, which is all algorithmically recommended content. And all of this algorithmically recommended content is recommended to you to keep you scrolling for longer. TikTok actually affects your brain similarly to how dating apps affect your brain. John Kotzler interviewed Dr. Julie Albright about TikTok psychology, and they said, when you're scrolling, sometimes you see a photo or something that's delightful and it catches your attention, and you get that little dopamine hit in the brain, in the pleasure center of the brain, so you want to keep scrolling. So this next bit is a little bit sciencey, but it's actually very interesting. Like, okay, I'm in my scientist era. Because TikTok shows you a really wide range of videos, and some of those videos you can like and some of those videos you can't like, it's an uncertain reward, and uncertain/unpredictable rewards actually cause more activity in the rewards part of your brain. I know I'm putting it very simply. And dopamine can hit your brain in two different ways. You receive an predictable reward, so you get a hit of dopamine, or your brain adapts to the unpredictable reward system and preemptively rewards your anticipated risk. Okay, stay with me. I know this sounds confusing. And our brains grow and change based on our surrounding, especially if you're young and your brain isn't fully developed yet. And 63% of TikTok users are under the age of 30. And I'm just going to take a quote directly from the article. Once your brain gets used to this neurological release, it learns to anticipate and reward the body for even just exposure to the source of that release. This is known as a dopamine loop. A lot of people are talking about how TikTok has lowered their attention span. And although there is no scientific proof for this because TikTok is a fairly new app, it is proven that social media use in general is shortening our attention spans. Again, to quote directly from the article, a 2019 study found that news cycles were becoming shorter and shorter and content turnover rates increasing year after year. Not only is TikTok addictive in the psychological sense of dopamine hits, but the almost perfectly curated algorithm keeps people scrolling. And it can almost make people get stuck in algorithmic traps the longer you keep engaging with specific content, obviously in terms with sort of plastic surgery content, but also many people have gone down the alt-right pipeline via TikTok. Also, a lot of people are opting to use TikTok over other video apps such as YouTube because TikTok is... Oh, I'm taking this down. Guys, sorry, quick blue tack rant. I hate blue tack. Blue tack is the worst thing ever. If someone could let me know some alternative to blue tack which isn't going to lift the paint, please let me know. Blue tack absolutely drives me crazy. Anyways, people are opting to use TikTok over other video apps such as YouTube because not only does TikTok have a really good algorithm and it keeps you really entertained and really engaged, it very rarely gets boring because you're constantly just consuming new and different content at a very rapid pace. You also get into a bit of a rhythm with scrolling. But also Tiffany Ferg spoke about this in a video about YouTube feeling a bit off recently, about how going on YouTube can feel so overwhelming because you actually have to choose a video when you're so used to scrolling on TikTok and content being served to you. And I know I'm mentioning algorithmic trap a lot, and I know that some of you guys are going to be thinking that I'm being over dramatic, but guys, I have another anecdote to tell you, okay? So I don't know about you guys, but I find motherhood and babies to be very interesting, okay? I like watching mum content. I've spoken about on my podcast how I have like the craziest baby fever at the moment, but that's beside the point. Regardless, baby fever or not, I like to watch a bit of mum and baby content, especially sort of young parents in their 20s or baby-led weaning. And the TikTok algorithm clocked onto this. And for the past, I'd probably say 3 weeks, I was recommended absolutely nothing but family content. Like, first of all, that's not what I like. I like mum content. I don't like family channels, family content. All right, sorry, I'm going off on one. But I just had to say, guys, it was the most annoying thing ever, okay? So, like, typically, I like my For You page to probably be like 20% mum and baby, okay? I am not even joking. Nearly every single TikTok was some sort of like family TikTok, and no matter how many times I clicked not interested, it kept coming up. I clicked that not interested button easily over 100 times, and despite that, I kept getting recommended like family TikTokers, and it was driving me absolutely insane. Eventually, with enough persistence, my For You page returned to normal, and all it really caused me was a lot of irritation. But imagine if you're being recommended nothing but plastic surgery content for weeks on end and it isn't going away, especially if you can't help but engage with that kind of content because it is interesting. You are inevitably going to start internalizing the content that you're consuming. I thought I would explain 3 different women's beauty trends and discourse going around on TikTok at the moment. And the first one is buccal fat removal. The first time I'd heard of buccal fat removal was actually back in 2021 when Chrissy Teigen posted on her Instagram story that she had had buccal fat removal, and she was actually unsure whether she even liked it.
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here. And since I quit drinking, really seeing the results, and I like it. Yeah.
Buccal fat removal is a cosmetic procedure where you remove the lower fatty part of your cheeks. It's called, I think it's literally called buccal fat. Yeah, no, buccal fat removal. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So cheekbones appear because remember, women's body parts are trends and chubby cheeks are out apparently. Buccal fat removal isn't a new procedure. The earliest buccal fat removal can be dated all the way back to the 1930s, but it's become a real topic of interest recently because allegedly a handful of celebrities have had it, such as Bella Hadid, Amelia Gray, Zoe Kravitz, and Lea Michele. And the funny thing is about social media is that everyone has a voice. Around 30 years ago, as a celebrity, the only people's opinions you would really hear was opinions of journalists, tabloids, and occasionally fans via fan letters or meeting them, etc. And nowadays, most people get their gossip and news from their social media feeds, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, I don't know, are people still using Snapchat? I read way more news following journalists and reading articles they've linked than I do you reading actual newspapers or going on actual news websites. So now it's up to the general public of social media users, which is tens of millions of people, to decide whether the latest plastic surgery trend is good or bad. And according to the public court of Twitter opinion, buccal fat removal was a big no-no, unless you're Bella Hadid. Whether she's had it or not, I think people tend to agree that Bella Hadid's buccal fat removal looks really good. Tweets with tens of thousands of likes said that buccal fat removal was scary, that it made celebrities look old, and how so many of these celebrities have made such a huge mistake because buccal fat removal cannot be reversed. I saw a lot of discussion about how strange it was that already beautiful women were completely changing their features to look like someone else. I saw a lot of Twitter users joking about how Amelia Gray stole Gabriette's face. A lot of people think that buccal fat removal peaking in popularity has a direct link to 90s thinness and heroin chic coming back. I'm not going to stay on this for too long because my friend Madison Brown made a great video about this, which I'll leave linked down below. She also talks about pale grunge Tumblr and how eating disorders link all of this together. Trends, whether it's fashion, beauty, or body, tend to come around every 20 years, and heroin chic, the ideal extremely thin supermodel body type of the 90s, is apparently coming back, with Bella Hadid being a lot of people's inspirations and the Kardashians allegedly having their BBLs reversed. But if we circle back to buccal fat removal for a second, a lot of people are expressing their disdain for buccal fat removal, saying that it's making a lot of these women look much older than they are. And I understand why people dislike buccal fat removal, but just to step onto a different topic, the disdain for women's aging is a whole other kettle of fish. I think the media that we as women are fed from an extremely young age, it's no wonder that such a common anxiety amongst women, including myself, is aging.
Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair's derm-proven retinol works so fast, it takes only 1 week to reveal younger-looking skin.
Each high-dose pearl melts into a freshly activated silky essence that reduces the appearance of even deep wrinkles.
My whole face looks young again thanks to a lipstick.
L'Oreal invents new Color Riche Anti-Age Serum, an anti-aging serum with collagen and proxylane in the core of the lipstick. It's a first.
You all heard that I nearly spent £300 on Botox because of one forehead wrinkle. Men's aging features are embraced. Their grey hair, their thick beards, their sunspots, their dad bods, they're told that they're aging like a fine wine. I love DILFs. We all know how much I love DILFs. Meanwhile, any sign that a woman is aging, whether it's a singular grey hair, a smile line, cellulite, even though cellulite isn't a sign of aging, cellulite is just a part of your body. But anyways, they must spend hundreds, if not thousands of pounds making themselves look as young as possible, and they have to prevent this from happening. Otherwise, they are told that they are letting themselves go. And let me tell you, Anti-aging TikTok is absolutely wild. With just one search, you can find a plethora of anti-aging content, whether it's a 10-step skincare routine, the best sun creams for your face, anti-wrinkle straws, how to get rid of smile lines, Botox, baby Botox, and the wrinkle prevention technique of training your face muscles not to move. I know I've spoken about that already in the video, but I can't get over it. Like, I'm sorry. First of all, smile lines are great. It shows that you've lived a long and happy life. Second of all, training your face muscles not to move. There's so much more to life. People argue that the new phenomenon of TikTok beauty standards is no different from the beauty standards of 30 years ago. It's just formatted in a different media. And honestly, I actually disagree with this for a multitude of reasons. As I mentioned earlier, social media gives everyone a voice. With an algorithm as successful as TikTok's, anyone really has the ability to go viral. She's going viral. We have nearly constant access to our phones and an endless amount of short form content to burn through. And it's already been proven that social media shortens our attention spans. We are being exposed to more and more content every single day, and we are mass consuming content on a level which it has never been consumed before. 30 years ago, when women were reading magazines and watching television, it was up to journalists, tabloids, and the beauty industry to sort of decide what the beauty standards were. If a skincare company wanted to sell you an eye cream, and this eye cream would reduce your dark circles, they would put out advertisements, perhaps a before and after picture. The before picture, the woman has shadows under her eyes, she looks sad, the picture has a grey tint, and then in the after picture, the picture is bright, she has makeup on, she looks happy, she's glowing, and she has no under eye circles. She is so pleased with the result of her product because her under eye circles are gone. Then the beauty company would publish this advertisement in magazines, on billboards, run it during television ad breaks, and then the tabloids and journalists would start reporting of celebrities who had dark under eyes. They're looking so tired. Do they have a baby on the way? Are they pregnant? Is their husband upsetting them? Gosh, they look so old. And the cycle goes on and on, because in the end, it all relates back to capitalism, consumerism, and getting women to buy products that they don't need by making them feel like they need it. And of course, this is awful. I'm not trying to downplay the effect that beauty standards 30 years ago had on women, but I think now with phones being portable, social media apps being made to be addictive, and algorithms like the TikTok one, we are consuming beauty standards content on a much larger mass scale. And this is when TikTok beauty trend creators come into it. And no, I'm not talking about beauty gurus. I'm talking about a specific brand of TikToker who makes content about beauty trends, often about plastic surgery, Botox, filler, and this kind of content is all over TikTok like a rash. And I have thought of a name for this kind of content. I call it insecurity mining. It is content which mines for your insecurities. A lot of these TikTok creators disguise themselves as sort of self-care when they use self-care to disguise the fact that they are just mining for insecurities. Even if it doesn't seem super direct, the TikToks which you're watching, whether it's about anti-aging, baby Botox, siren eyes, lip filler, nose jobs, BBLs, anti-BBL TikTok, how to get rid of your hip dips, is sending messages to your brain about how you should look. Why would people exercise to get rid of their hip dips if they like them? Why would people go through all this hassle with anti-aging stuff if they liked looking old? And honestly, it's kind of getting to the point where these TikToks are dictating beauty standards. Journalists are are writing articles about them. Beauty companies are creating products to adhere to them. Of course, all beauty standards don't stem directly from TikTok. Most, if not all, beauty standards stem from capitalism, white supremacy, fat phobia, the patriarchy, ageism, but TikTok is definitely spreading them further and more frequently than ever before. A tweet from @ReturnOfBWA reads, "I'm tired. It's not even anyone else making up these beauty standards anymore. It's them, the TikTok girls. They sit down, overthink until they find an insecurity in themselves and keep talking about it until everyone else follows." And honestly, I agree. I understand that all women are victims to beauty standards to an extent, no matter how beautiful or rich you are. But my sympathy is very limited when you start to create content out of these insecurities and you start to spread these insecurities far and wide, often to younger and more impressionable girls, women, and non-binary people. And the next thing I'm going to talk about, I've definitely gotten it from like a tweet or an article or a TikTok, but I cannot find it for the life of me. And I know that I have not thought of this myself. You know, when you just read something in passing, if anyone can remember like the tweeter that I got it from or the article I got it from, please let me know because I'll amend the description box. Basically, what I read was something along the lines of how as a society, a lot of us can agree that obsessing over the way our body looks and our weight is bad. Making a stream of content about weight loss is bad and can trigger and create eating disorders. But we look at plastic surgery and obsessing over the way that we look in a pretty different way. It's far more acceptable to nitpick at our looks, encourage girls and women to get nose jobs and lip filler and Botox and baby Botox and buccal fat removal, and it's gotten to the point where a lot of women, including myself at times, obsess over the way they look so much that they're starting to develop body dysmorphia, but for their face. Of course, diet culture on TikTok very much exists. Fat phobia still very much exists. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. I've made multiple videos on my channel about fat phobia, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some plastic surgery radical because I have gotten Botox in the past. I have gotten filler in the past. I will probably still continue to get filler. I've only just moved on from desperately wanting a nose job, but I think as women, girls, non-binary people, femmes, we need to start being mindful of the content we are consuming and start putting ourselves first. And this isn't me trying to blame people for their insecurities, like, well, you know what, you shouldn't have actually been watching these TikToks in the first place. No. Like, oppressive beauty standards aren't anyone's fault. I mean, apart from like the patriarchy, they aren't our fault is what I'm trying to say. But doing everything you can to avoid this type of content, whether it's, you know, the not interested button, the mute button, the block button, will genuinely do you the world of good. A lot of self-care TikTok is not about self-care at all. It's all linked to the way you look and it's all about trying to sell you stuff. Like, how is using an anti-wrinkle straw self-care? It's a really tricky one because I feel like just by making this video, I am contributing and drawing attention to these TikTok beauty standards. And I don't really have a solution for this. Like, I mean, none of my videos have solutions. Like, the only advice I have is to mute and block. But this is something that I wanted to talk about because it's something that I find interesting and I wanted to start a conversation about it. But yes, that is this video all done. Of course, this was a little bit of a shorter one, but as I said earlier, shorter video essays interspersed by the longer ones, so you guys get more content and I don't go crazy. But yeah, no, let me know if you guys want a Wagatha Christie video because I'm like 99.99% sure that is going to be my next video or like the next longer video that I'm going to work on. But yes, I will see you guys in my next video.